guys, Spooky Squid here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we will be doing a movie review, and I'm going to be reviewing Mulan. So stick around and let's hang around and chat. Alright, so let's just talk about this stupid movie. I have my makeup here, so I'm just going to be doing my makeup and telling you my thoughts on Mulan. So, I just want to start by saying that just don't pay $30 to watch this movie. It's not worth it, honestly. It's not even worth 10 bucks. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just gonna get into it and tell you why you shouldn't be spending $30 on this movie. Well, these are my thoughts and opinions. If you have differing opinions, feel free to roast me in the comments. I don't care. All the makeup I'll be using, I will link it down below in the comments. Disclaimer before I actually start with anything, there will be spoilers, but it would probably be more entertaining for you to watch this video than to spend like 2 hours watching that train wreck of a movie. Anyway, at the beginning of the movie, Mulan is like a kid and she's running around chasing a chicken, and like you clearly see that like she slips and falls and then catches herself like she's a goddamn superhero or something. And I don't like that concept for several reasons. So, as you may know, because they announced it everywhere, Mushu and the cricket aren't in the live action movie. So when I heard that, I, for some stupid reason, I guess, assumed that this would be like, you know, live action, historically accurate movie about Mulan. And, you know, I was really excited actually about it when I heard that. I'm like, everyone was like, oh no, Mushu. And I'm like, actually this is a great idea. Like Mulan was a real person. Like, just make it historically accurate. Like, you know, if you're gonna make it different, like, make it different that way. And then, because I love that shit. I love historical movies and like documentaries and stuff like that. And a movie about Mulan would have been like really cool. So imagine my disappointment when I hear that no, they turned her into a goddamn superhero in the movie. So she has chi, which is not even, that's not how it works. So yeah, she's like got superpowers. She can you know, do really crazy shit, and that's not what chi is. I'll link a couple articles down in the comments because I don't think it's my place to kind of explain what it is. I'm sure other people can explain it better, but it's just I learned more about chi from freaking Jackie Chan adventures. This movie was all over the place. So that was strike one. First of all, no, that's not historical, and it's not even how chi works, and that's not even what it is, and it's just, we're already starting off on a sour note. So anyway, chi is you know, vital energy and all that, but the way they portrayed it in the movie was just, it makes me mad. I don't know. But that's just me expecting the movie to be historically accurate. I don't know. That's kind of what I was hoping for. And that's not what I got at all. So of course the whole scene where in the animation where she goes to train, she takes her father's place and then she goes to train, and at first she's lousy, and then she kind of, you know, gets the hang of it. So of course that's ruined because she's already like, you know, super powerful. So it kind of like, and in the cartoon when she actually like climbs up and grabs the flag from the pole, not the flag, the arrow from the pole, and everyone's like, oh cool, like, because like she worked on it. And this time like she climbs up a mountain with like water buckets, and everyone's like, oh cool, but we're like, okay, yeah, she's finally using her powers, like, who cares? I don't know, it's just like, it was a weird choice. There's a lot of things in that scene that I didn't like. They were trying to make jokes because, you know, oh, she's a woman and surrounded by men, and they just kind of like fell flat. All the jokes in that movie were just awkward. Like, they weren't funny, they were just like, oh, that's weird. If you're gonna make it a fantasy story, like, I don't understand why they didn't stick with the original story, like the animation. Like, that was a great storyline, and it just was very forced. Like, the story completely changed, and the plot was like both super simple and like super complicated, because you don't really understand the story. Like, the bad guys don't really have an arc. Like, you kind of hear about like the witch Zhang Yang, like you kind of hear why she's all like bitter and stuff, but you don't really know like a lot about her story. You kind of hear like, oh, okay, like maybe 2 sentences about it, and you're like, okay, like, can we hear more about it? No. Okay. Like, I get that with her story, like her character, they wanted to give her like a noble death and like kind of like retribution or whatever, but it just didn't really make any sense. Because like she saves Mulan, and it's just, and like she dies in the process, and it's just like, why? You don't really delve into her character enough to understand why she made that decision. And it was just like, it was weird. Like, it wasn't a simple storyline, but at the same time, like, they did a bunch of stuff like that didn't make any sense. So you're just sitting there like, what the fuck happened? Like, why are they doing that? Like, what is this? And you're left with a bunch of questions, but at the same time, I didn't care enough, because they didn't do a good job with, like, I don't want to say the actors were bad. I don't think that they had like good lines. They didn't have like a good script, and that's probably like a big reason why the movie fell flat, in my opinion. There were a couple saving graces in the movie. Like, the only reason I wouldn't rate it like the worst movie ever was like the CGI was good. Like the costumes, the whole backdrop like area was gorgeous. But when that's the only good part about a movie, like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good movie. I found that they could have gotten away with, if they wanted to make it a fantasy movie, but different from the original. Like, they replaced Mushu with like a phoenix that just appears to give her confidence or anything or something. Like, I don't, like, it's not that there was any humor in the movie, but like I said, it was really weird, and it really needed like a comic relief. Because if you're gonna make it a Disney movie, like, you need a funny character, and there just weren't really any. Like, maybe the matchmaker, but I found like she was more awkward than funny. Like they had something really good, and they had a good concept there, but they just messed up a lot of things and made some I find the movie was really, really highly anticipated, and it's not because people had really, really high expectations that the movie didn't meet. It's just, it was all over the place, and it was just, for a movie about Mulan being bland, like, God, how bad do you have to fuck it up? Like, how do you even do that? So I feel like I've ranted about the storyline for a little bit. Let's talk about Mulan and her character. And so in the animation, she's like pretty klutzy, but she's devoted to her family, and she really wants to save China. She wants to help her father, and you know, you can really feel like it was so beautifully written, and like they did such a good job just portraying that. And in the movie, it's just like, it almost feels like Mulan doesn't really have any emotions. Like, you don't really understand why she takes her father's place. And I don't know if it's because, I think it's partly because of the writing, and because the actors were like, the actors they picked out were, there's some really big names in that movie, but I'm just gonna blame the writers. You don't really understand her thought process. You know why she like does what she does, but you don't get it explained to you. You don't get the feeling why. Like in the animation, like she goes, like she sings about it, and you kind of understand that she wants to be true to herself. She wants to save her father. She doesn't, you know, she doesn't feel like she fits into like what Chinese tradition expects her of, like, as a woman. She just doesn't feel like, and you kind of see it in the live action, but it's like they tried to make a joke out of it, and it was just really weird. Like, she goes to the matchmaker, and it just doesn't make any sense. There's better writing in Mortal Kombat. Like, at least Mortal Kombat, it's ridiculous, but it's so ridiculous that it's funny. But Mulan doesn't have that. It's very stoic, and the jokes just feel really out of place, which is weird for a Disney movie. Like, usually they're pretty good with that. Just don't make the same mistake I did. It's, ugh. Let's talk about movies you should watch instead of Mulan. Because there are some really good Chinese movies out there, and I was looking it up, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself because, like, I've only seen maybe one of those. That's like, I've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and that is an excellent movie, and I would highly, highly recommend you watching that movie instead of Mulan. There's a couple of movies that they're actually on Netflix if you're interested in watching a movie similar to Mulan. And one of them is called Shadows, and I'll link them all down in the comments. Yeah, there are a couple of live action Mulan movies that are made by Chinese film production. So, like, again, I'll link them down in the comments if you're interested. Like, I'm probably gonna end up watching a few of them because I don't know. I need that movie scrubbed out of my brain. I want to mention too, it's not because like I'm a 90s kid and I have all that nostalgia built up about, you know, Mulan, the animated movie. It is objectively like bad. And like I've heard good things about their other live action movies. Like this is only like the second, well, I guess technically third, like live action remake that I've seen of Disney. I think they were trying too hard and just completely missed the mark. Double World is like another movie that you can watch instead, and it is available on Netflix. There are a lot of options out there Can we also talk about like how steep $30 is for that? Like, I get that like it's probably for families, and you would probably spend more than $30 if you go at the theaters, but that's the point. You don't get the theater experience. You have to make your own popcorn. You have to, I don't know, you don't sit in a theater. You're just sitting in your living room with your big screen TV. So why am I paying $30 for that? Like, if I pay $30 for a movie, I at least expect a foot massage or something. But that's the thing, they probably think that they can get away with it, and then like they'll release more movies like that. Or they'll make it so that you have to pay extra to get like other contents because they know that people will pay for it. So just don't pay for it. In a sense, I'm kind of happy that the movie wasn't out in theaters, because I probably would have gone to see it and been incredibly disappointed. And I don't like paying money and going to the movie theater and being disappointed, because then I feel like I got ripped off. I don't know if I can talk and put lipstick on, so I'm just gonna put lipstick on and then I'll go over final thoughts. So all in all, I rate the movie at 2 thumbs down. So as I said, I will link down all of the other movies that I mentioned down below, as well as all the makeup that I used today. And let me know if you like this type of video and what else you'd like to see. Like, if you'd like me to like review other movies or TV shows. Yeah, just let me know down in the comments. And thanks for watching.